We got a first alert weather alert day, and as you look out across El Paseo, you're going to see some clouds and you're going to see some breezy conditions. But generally speaking, it hasn't been terribly windy, but you can tell that the winds are up a bit. Just checking out the palm trees and the flowers. It's gusty out there, and luckily we haven't seen the really big spikes in wind, but that is likely yet to come as we move past about the 2 and 3 o'clock hours. So not in the too far distant future. That wind advisory remains in effect until 10 o'clock, and we are tracking winds. They've generally been in this range, but we could see gusts up around 50 miles per hour here on the valley floor, and north of the valley through the pass areas and stretching up toward Desert Hot Springs, we could see winds close to 60 miles per hour, and that would of course create some blowing sand and dust. Again, thus far today it has been windy throughout the day, but very steady and not a lot of spikes. We are seeing now winds up around the 30 mile per hour mark, so they continue to slowly ramp up. And I do think that we're going to see some of those really strong spikes as we move into the afternoon. However, this system does appear to be at least a slightly different than the one we saw earlier in the week. That area of low pressure, though, is still the reason we're seeing so many areas under a wind advisory across Southern California and also southern and western Arizona. It's a pretty deep low. It's going to drop in slowly. It hasn't moved much, but that front already kind of pushing through. So the cool air is basically in place. There are some showers. The bulk of the precipitation is up around Salt Lake City and then kind of immediately adjacent to that as you move south in Utah. And then it stretches down and you're seeing some snowfall north of Phoenix around Flagstaff, but very light showers. So there's not a lot of precipitation here. That's where the low is. This is where it's expected to go as we move through the afternoon and evening. So as that low makes that transition, that's when those winds will be the strongest. We're at 70 degrees in Palm Springs and also in La Quinta, and 73 in Thermal and Mecca. So the storm system hasn't dropped down quite as quickly. That means we've warmed up a little bit, finally getting out of those 60s into the low 70s, and it's pretty comfortable. The winds, as I said, have been steady, and right now sustained winds are not that different from gusts, which is telling us that those wind speeds are constant and fairly strong. 28 mile per hour winds in La Quinta, in Indio 30 mile per hour winds, Cathedral City, Thousand Palms low 20. So it's pretty much gusty wherever you go. We're still going to watch for those spikes that can come in the afternoon and early evening, and then by 10 o'clock, once the advisory expires, the winds should start to settle down. Your Comfort Air 7-day forecast is looking at, oops, I'm going backwards. Here, let's do that. It helps if you hold the remote control right side up. Here you go. We got the weather alert for today. Upper 60s, low 70s, 74 tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Calmer winds for the weekend. The temperatures warming up. Will be in the upper 80s, close to 90 by Monday and Tuesday. So it is going to warm up rather quickly as we move into the weekend, Angela.
Wow.